Good morning from the Alton Towers Resort, where you're watching a theme park worldwide. In this vlog, I'm going to be taking you for a full tour of the park. It's summer 2025. Going to check out all the latest updates, get back on some of my favourite rides, and of course share lots of top tips if you are going to be visiting Alton Towers during the summer holidays. You may have seen my vlog on the channel from only a few days ago. I know a lot of you have seen that, and yeah, unfortunately it wasn't the best day. Basically, if you haven't seen it before, I'd planned to do this video last week, came up here to the park just hoping for like a normal day, and it didn't quite go to plan, unfortunately. Ride availability was really poor, especially in the morning, and then later in the day there was weather delays and the attractions closed. Obviously, yeah, it was bright sun here at Alton Towers, but I've got a bit more information on that I'll be sharing throughout this video as well, because I did actually contact Alton Towers that day just to try and clarify and get a bit more information about when rides close for weather delays here at the park. But stay tuned for that coming up. We are down here on the monorail. Let's go and head down to the main entrance. As much as the monorail needs some updating, I do still love it. It's an iconic part of the Alton Towers experience, arriving on the monorail, heading through the theme park. Yeah, I wish that they didn't have all these vinyls on the windows so you can see out a lot clearer. But still, I do like this way of getting down to the entrance. Obviously, you can walk. It takes about 15 minutes from the car parks and also the resort hotels down to Tower Street, the main entrance of the park. But it's nice how this kind of weaves around through the park itself. Of course, straight through Forbidden Valley, Gloomy Wood, Katanga Canyon, and then you leave the park and then back over Tower Street before pulling down into the main station. But yeah, it's a really nice way of just starting the day. It's about a 3-minute ride down here to the main entrance plaza, where you're greeted, of course, by the iconic corkscrew there. Oh, it looks amazing here at the entrance. But before I enter into the theme park, I had to come and check on this sign first to see if it had been fixed, and it has been. Welcome to Alton Towers Resort. Yeah, the E was missing the other day, and you can tell that's a brand new E. It's a slightly different shade of colour there, but you know what? They've replaced it, and I'm very happy about that. That's the thing, normally when we put a post on our social media or mention it in a vlog, somebody from the park sees it and it gets fixed straight away. That's the train we're on, train 3, the Explorer train. Obviously that's all themed around the Alton Towers Hotel. There we go, the sign's fixed. Let's go and get into the theme park. Always great walking down Tower Street, hearing the iconic soundtrack. Do love this music. I think Alton Towers has probably got some of the best theme park music out there in the world, to be honest. I love all the different soundtracks. A lot of them were made by a company called Score from Germany. They've done quite a lot of the iconic soundtracks and remastered a few bits over the years as well. Gonna head straight down for Wicker Man first. Go and feed the flames. Always love turning this corner and seeing Big Bob. Got an advertised wait of 35 minutes for Wicker Man. Not bad at all. 3 trains should be in service on here. Normally pretty consistent operations on Wicker Man. Getting the train sent out nice and fast. Yeah, one just coming to the brake run. Other one's already starting to go up the lift hill. Let's go. So this is the park's GCI wooden coaster that's operated since 2018, and it was built on the former site of the flume. Who remembers that, when you used to sit in the bathtub? And obviously before that, it was the log flume. In fact, the world's longest log flume when it first opened. All these trees and bushes here on the left-hand side were brand new when they put the ride in. They've grown so much in 8 years. Can't really see much of the coaster there on the left now. Still see this turnaround section here though. Obviously before you get a view looking at Big Bob, yeah, all covered up now. That's the thing, the landscaping really started to take over. It did look quite barren around here when it first opened, so yeah, it's nice that the landscaping has all grown in nicely here at Wicker Man. I've got to say, very solid operations on Wicker Man. 3 trains in service, getting them set out very fast. Been waiting 15 minutes. I'm almost at the baggage hold. So obviously on this ride and a few of the others here at the park, you do need to put your bags in a secure baggage hold before you ride. They give you a little wristband or a token. And of course they save your bag until you get off. Some of the rides, you can put them on the platform, and a few rides you can take them on. It all depends on the attraction. Of course, you head through into the pre-show. Wicker Man, let's go.
hundreds of years, our family has lived in these woods, led by the spirit of the Wicker Man. Is here. What an honor to see yourself bound in wicker, encased in his soul, and you see yourself in him. The time has come for the Wicker Man to rise. Together, we shall free the
What a pre-show. Always gets a good crowd reaction there. I know it gets a little bit cramped in here, but I do love the pre-show. I'll see you when I come off. Always great getting back on Wicker Man here at Alton Towers, and I've got to say the queue moves so fast there. In total, including the pre-show, 20 minutes from joining the queue through to sitting on the train and experiencing the ride. It's a brilliant coaster, it really is, and for a smaller GCI, it just shows that the smaller coasters can still pack just as much as a punch as the bigger GCI coasters out there, like Woden and Troy over in mainland Europe. As much as they are better rides than Wicker Man, this is still an awesome addition. They did a really good job with the space that they had there. There wasn't loads of room because it didn't even take up the full layout of the flume. It only took up like half of the layout and the lake area at the front, so they did really well to pack all of that ride into that space. But yeah, it was really great getting back on there. Love the coaster, love the theming, and the operations were brilliant, getting the train sent out as well. It wouldn't be an Alton Towers vlog without getting in my favourite sign here at the park. There it is. This one never misses a letter. The Katanga Canyon sign down here, really nice with the waterfall at the side, and yeah, I love all the kind of themed aspect that there is in this part of the park. Like kind of strolling up through here from Wicker Man and up through Katanga Canyon. Probably gonna have a ride on the Runaway Mine Train, do a nice family coaster next. And you just can't beat the sound of a wooden coaster either, can you? It sounds awesome. Never thought we were gonna get a woody at Alton Towers. There was so many plans over the years for wooden coasters, but obviously none of them ever materialised until this one. So I'm so pleased we finally got one. It might not have been John Worley's dream wooden coaster for the park, with that awesome cross valley layout, but we got one in the end, which I'm happy about. Congo River Rapids just there, yeah, it's going to head up through Katanga. Now, of course, not every ride opens at 10 o'clock here at Alton Towers. There's a few staggered openings as well, not too many. Well, the Congo River Rapids is one of them rides that opens slightly later at 11 o'clock. So yeah, that'll be running today from 11 through until 6. Another top tip, of course, if you are coming, I'm sure a lot of you know this by now, but I remind those of you that don't know, even though it's a 6 o'clock ride close, it's not the actual ride itself what stops running at that time. It's the entrance to the queue line that closes at that time, whether it's 4, 5, 6 or 7 p.m. So we've got some 7s coming up later in August. That's when they close the entrance to the queue line. So as long as you're in that queue by that time, you're going to get your ride. I love that shot with the waterfalls and the monorail coming over. I didn't even have to wait for it then. I was debating waiting for it to get the shot, but literally I saw the celebration train, the purple one, that's coming down there. Good timing. Now, it's not particularly a really warm day today. It's about 19 degrees Celsius. But on the really hot days this summer, it's actually worth getting down to the rapids before opening at 11 o'clock. You can save quite a bit of time. Because they do get very busy. Like in the summer, you'll often see the rapids on 45 minutes, something like that in the afternoon on a busy day. So yeah, either doing it early on or right near the end of the day is a good call. And obviously this Intamin Rapids opens back in 1986. It was the Grand Canyon Rapids back then. And then in 1992, when obviously they designed the rest of Katanga Canyon, they put all these pathways in here and changed the name to the Congo River Rapids. A little bit of rapids history for you there. I still think Katanga Canyon is one of the best themed areas at Alton Towers. Even though it's only got 2 actual rides, I just really like it, all the buildings and just the style of it is great. Got a 15-minute advertised wait for the Runaway Mine Train, not too bad. 32 years old and still going strong, this Mack Rides powered coaster. Oh, I take it it's not in the extension because it is out the front. Maybe they're not in the extended queue out the back. We'll go and have a look. It's always great getting back on the Runaway Mine Train here in Katanga Canyon. Yeah, only waited about 10 minutes. It wasn't in the extended queue. How you know before you ride is if you come around here, if you're coming in from Gloomy Wood in this way, all that fence there is the extended queue. So obviously it was out the front there. If it was in the extended as well, I probably would have been home about half an hour. Only 10 minutes and getting the train loaded up quite fast. Obviously only one train on there with it being a power coaster, but it is a great ride. I do enjoy it, and going through into the tunnel and getting the interactions with the rapids is really nice. Hey! Loads of fans of the channel here. Love it. Great ride. Choo choo. Right, we've done a couple of coasters to start the day. Going to head for a dark ride now, and that is the Curse at Alton Manor. You can always rely on this to have a pretty short queue. I see a lot of people saying, oh, it doesn't get a big queue, it's not very popular. A lot of people ride it, but it's just so high capacity. And you've got to think there's an extra seat now than when it was dual, because it used to only have 5 seats. Now it seats 6 again, like it did when it was the original haunted house. The reason why it only seated 5 was because one of the boxes at the back had all like the wiring in, all the mechanism for the guns on the ride. So yeah, fun little fact for you. I bet this is only on 5 minutes. There you go, 5-minute wait for the Curse at Alton Manor. Obviously you've got the little food unit in the middle there where they do like nice ice creams and milkshakes. It's actually the nicest food at Alton Towers, in my opinion, in there. I do like it, the drinks and treats that they do, and the prices actually aren't too bad. But yeah, like just need some more seating again. It used to have seating all outside, but now you just see people sat all on the walls and things because there isn't enough benches. So yeah, we could really do with some. I'm sure a couple will probably appear now by tomorrow, like the E getting fixed on the sign. But no, it's just what it needs. Like just a few more benches and stuff around. I don't really know why they took them away, to be honest. But yeah, even though it's a dark ride, can't film on here, unfortunately. Yeah, there's not much you can film on here at Alton Towers. However, they did let me film lots of POVs, which I really appreciate, earlier this year, and you can see them all in the playlist here on the channel. Didn't film on Alton Manor, unfortunately, but did do quite a lot of the coasters. All the major coasters we have covered on Theme Park Worldwide. There's little Emily. She's going up into the attic. What's going to happen? Alton Manor, in my opinion, is one of the best dark rides that we've got here in the UK. It always was when it was the Haunted House. When it became Jewel and the interactive ride, it was still good fun and had some nice theming around. But it all never really made sense with all the zombies. It didn't really come together the best. Whereas Alton Manor, the redo they did a few years ago, absolutely fantastic. I love it. If you've never been on the ride before, it's about 5 minutes in length. There's lots to see in there. Huge set pieces and theming as you make your way through. Mostly practical sets in there. There's a few projections and screens about, but mostly it's really nice practical sets as you're going through. All the sights, the sounds, the smells all come together in a really nice experience. One of my favourite scenes is right at the start, where you've got this beautiful dining room, a couple of jump scares in there. It's quite scary now, especially for little ones. And you go through the big vortex tunnel, there's the trommel, with a really nice kind of smoke effect in there. And then towards the end of the ride, you get shrunk down into Emily's doll's house, and then you see her massive head hanging up from the ceiling, big strobe effects on there, which is great. Yeah, it's a really good ride. I enjoy it a lot. Got some spooky vibes going on down here in the Haunted Hollow. I like that one because it's actually got a sound effect where he mumbles, he goes, Alton Towers, and he just rumbles it like you wouldn't even know unless you stood by it for a few minutes. It did happen just during that clip. These are the things that you just notice when you live so close to the park, obviously only 10 minutes away, and visit on a regular basis. Yeah, literally he just mumbles it, he goes like, Alton Towers. Just little things like that, little subtle things. I do like Haunted Hollow. Obviously you've got the sky ride back open now, which is nice to get to the other side, but I'm actually going to walk down through the gardens over towards Dark Forest. I'm going to save Forbidden Valley until later on in the day and do it this afternoon because it's always a lot quieter at that point. A lot of people don't realise if you walk on some of these, they do make different sound effects as well. Little sensors on here, which is nice. Is this one going to work? There you go. Yeah, a little sensor in there and the speaker. Oh, there's a ladybird on that one. Oh. Oh. It's been really nice having the Sky Ride back in operation here in 2025 after a 2-year absence. They spent a lot of money on this refurbishment. I know there was definitely conversations about removing this ride from the park, so I'm so pleased that they didn't do that and they spent the money on it. As you can see, it's stopped at the moment. A lot of the time it just stops whilst they're allowing people that need extra time to get on and off the gondolas to do just that, and then it'll be back in operation again. That's why it stops most of the time. It's only normally for about 30 seconds. But yeah, instead of getting the Sky Ride today, gonna head down through the gardens. And yeah, just head over to Dark Forest. It's got a bit of an update on Rita since the other day. Love the Prospect Tower just here, obviously one of the original features down here in the Alton Towers gardens themselves, and that's what really makes this park. It is the location with the gardens and the towers themselves. And if you come just behind the tower, you get a lovely view looking over at Alton Towers just there. This is one of the best views in the park, looking down there at the gardens. You've got the yew arches, the conservatories down there. Yeah, they have brought back the heritage tours this summer. I'm still yet to do one. I'm going to get one booked in August and yeah, do a bit of an updated video because there's more rooms that are open inside the towers now. So not been in some of them for a number of years. So going to get booked onto one of those for this summer. Hopefully on a nice sunny day. It's not very nice, is it, today, sunny-wise? But yeah, at least it's not raining. Got so many fascinating facts about this park. Did you know that a bear used to live in that cave right there underneath the tower? And I'm not on about like in the theme park days. You know, we're going way back to when, of course, this was the estates of the Earl of Shrewsbury. Well, yeah, there was a bear right in there. And it rhymes. And if you have got time for a little breather during your day at Alton Towers, it is well worth just taking 10-15 minutes just to stroll down here through the gardens. You can use it to get over to the other side of the park. Of course, it's quicker using the main pathways out of the gardens or getting the Sky Ride. But still, you know, it's worth taking that little detour sometimes just to come and appreciate the beauty down here. Now, as much as the gardens definitely looked better a number of years ago, these past few years, unfortunately, they made quite a lot of cutbacks to the gardening team, so there's nowhere near as many of them now to look after the gardens and the grounds, which is a real shame, but obviously these things have happened during recent years. They're still beautiful, and the team do the best they can do to keep them looking as nice as possible down here. Yeah, it is really nice. Obviously, a lot of the time, we bring our packed lunch to Alton Towers. We'll come and sit down here for sometimes 45 minutes and just have a bit of a chill out. It's really nice. I'm surprised that Alton Towers don't want to start making more of this again, you know, do like more weddings and that sort of thing down here, because it's just got so much potential, especially the beautiful glass conservatories that you can see over here. How nice are these? And it wouldn't be a full park tour without coming down here into the gardens. Had to be done. And yeah, it's always better saving Forbidden Valley until the end of the day. because them queues normally drop off quite a bit, especially for Nemesis. Toxicator will probably walk on later in the day, the last kind of hour, and also as well Galactica, where the operations haven't been the best on there this year from what I've seen, but that's normally a lot quieter later on in the day. So yeah, we're going to head up this way past the big statue, and then of course round up into Dark Forest. We'll talk a bit about Rita. In all that time I've been walking from Main Drive Skyride Station, it hasn't moved yet. It's still stopped over there, so it's obviously a bit of an extended delay that time. And yeah, there is people on there as well, so hopefully they'll be able to get that moving again soon. Here's a look at the beautiful statue that they've got. He made the desert smile, basically because this was all just, well, nothing. And he turned it from nothingness into the beauty that it is today. The Alton Towers Gardens, the Earl of Shrewsbury. Stunning. So we're going to head around this way. In terms of queue times, so Sunday when I'm filming this, and actually weekends can be the quietest days still to come during the main 6 week summer holidays here in the UK, because yeah, a lot of people decide to come in the week. All the big coasters are on about 25 to 35 minutes, and that's the biggest queue at the moment. 13, surprisingly, which is on 30 minutes. I always like just looking and seeing at different times of the day which rides peak at different times, and yeah, 35 minutes biggest queue, which is not bad at all for a major coaster. I think all the coasters here at Alton Towers, at least all the major coasters, are certainly worth a 30-minute wait. If you have booked one of the garden and house tours, this is where you meet. Over here at this nice theme sign, the iconic garden and house tours. Yeah, going to be doing that at some point in August. Looking forward to it. The towers are gorgeous, beautiful. I'd love to see more of the rooms restored on there, and they definitely could do if they wanted to spend the money on it. Obviously with Merlin in its current financial troubles, I don't think that's quite the priority, but still they do what they have to do, basically. The local council keep them on the toes, and National Heritage to make sure they are looking after the building the best they can do, and obviously yeah, at least you can still go up onto the roof and things as part of the tour. You used to just be able to freely walk around the towers, and I do miss those days, but sadly there was a lot of vandalism taking place, and that was the main reason why they stopped it. I think for me, I'd like to see them just put like a couple of staff members in there throughout the day, maybe in the afternoon, just so you could kind of still freely walk around. And obviously at the moment, again, in the current kind of times for Merlin, probably not the best use of spending budget at this moment in time, but maybe at some point in the future either Merlin will change, or we'll have new ownership here. There's certainly a lot of questions and rumours going on at the moment, so we'll see what happens. I just want the best for my home park, Alton Towers, what started it all. But yeah, I will book onto one of the tours and do that. I'm looking forward to it. Walking up through the gatehouse here, obviously all part of the original Towers ruins around here. Stunning building, isn't it? Entrance to Hex, the Legend of the Towers there on the right. That was advertised on 10 when I checked the app just, but we're going to continue around to the left. And Dark Forest, or as I've been calling it recently, One Ride Forest. And of course, with Alton Towers being our home park, we're always filming updates and yeah, keeping you updated with everything going on in the park. We've done a food tour, checking out all the different restaurants and menus for this year. So if you are visiting this summer, be sure to check that out on the channel. And we always do a merchandise tour as well at the start of the season, checking out the merch. Obviously, new bits come in throughout the year, some bits sell out and go, but yeah, we keep you updated in these vlogs on the little bits of merch. But if you want to see everything, like going around all the shops, including a detailed look at Towers trading, and check out the merchandise tour. Here we go, back down in Dark Forest. Obviously still, no opening yet for Rita, but since my video that I filmed last Monday, my day that didn't go to plan, well, there has been a bit of an update to show on Rita, so let's go and have a look. After many, many weeks, we have movement. The train has finally moved forward there. Obviously, Rita has got 2 trains. Yeah, this one's now moved forward there into the station area, which obviously shows that a sign that there has been some movement. And we've heard from a few friends, obviously, that work at the resort, that work is happening. It is going to be reopening. Yeah, we haven't kind of seen the end of it yet, but certainly get those rides in, because I am starting to think what the long-term future is for Rita, as I've mentioned in recent videos. Basically, earlier in the year, there was like loads of big gas canisters and things that were all down the back behind the hydraulic room, which is down the bottom here. And yeah, they're basically all back now. There's loads of canisters again, so obviously that costs a lot of money to do that sort of thing. And I can't see them wanting to keep spending the money all the time on Rita. Obviously, it is a hydraulic launch coaster. It's been operating here for 20 years now. I noticed a few comments on last week's video saying, you know, it only opened in 2005, surely it's still got a lot of life in it yet. There's much older rides like Oblivion, 1998, Galactica, 2002, that are all doing fine. Basically with this, hydraulic launch coasters just don't have as long of a lifespan as other coasters out there. So it's one of them. They're a bit of a dying breed now. Intamin don't really make as many parts. They don't sell these rides anymore. It's all LSMs now. So yeah, that all kind of is a playing factor into the future of Rita. So this is the end of the launch track for Rita. You can just see the hydraulic launch cable there. And basically this big building here that you walk past on your way to 13, and also the entrance to Rita, that's like the hydraulic room in there. You've got the big drum and everything that powers the hydraulic launch. And it's all blocked off at the moment with this fence in here, but basically you've got all these big canisters. You can just see them down at the back over there. So obviously lots of work going on. You've got the door open there on the side. Yeah, that's effectively what this big building is for, all the hydraulics room. I have been in there a couple of times actually. I did a behind the scenes tour once, and also once when I worked here, I got to go down in there. But yeah, they're the big canisters down there at the back. So, you know, it's not cheap doing this sort of stuff. Yeah, it's certainly not cheap. Doors open. There you go. You can't really see a lot through the door. Obviously a lot of it's hidden around the back. But yeah, that's basically what it is. It's all themed up to like a parking garage. That's why it's got the shutters on there. Obviously from the original theme. 5-minute wait for 13. Has it been down? It's just reopened or something? Oh, we can't pass up that, can we? 5 minutes. That's great. I mean, it has got single rider now as well, but yeah, 5 Minitos. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, I can't believe that. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, walking down the main queue. No point even using the single rider when it's on there 5 minutes. Yeah, carry on down here into the forest. And yeah, I do feel like this whole area would be a lot better without Rita here. I know there's a lot of people that do enjoy Rita, and it's a good fun ride, but I'd love to see it replaced with another launch coaster from Intamin, an LSM launch coaster, something similar to maybe Taron over at Phantasialand, something on that scale would be fantastic here. Obviously, you're probably not going to get that level of theming. Phantasialand do that better than most parks out there, even better than some of the Disney and Universal attractions. You know, they do a great job. But yeah, you know, that sort of ride would be great. They've actually got a lot more space around here to use than you realise as well, all out the back there. And then they could really make more of a feature of the building, the crypt for 13 itself, because yeah, it's a lovely building, but you don't really get to see it because of Rita's queue and everything. So yeah, you can make more of a feature of that, maybe put like a small lake in the middle and have the, you know, the crypt there as the feature and all the ride interacting round, and maybe a couple of new flat rides. Or am I dreaming? Literally straight up to the baggage holes. See you when I come off. And like I say, if you do want to see POVs, check them all out here on the channel. 4K POVs from all of these different big rides at the Alton Towers resorts here on the channel. How good was that? 5 minutes later and just come off 13. That was brilliant, straight on. And yeah, good to see the Tesla call working there, the queue line as well. 3 trains in service, getting them lap bars checked and sent out really fast, which is fantastic. Yeah, really good throughputs on 13. And yeah, it's always pretty reliable, which is great. It's a very hard ride to get off-ride footage of, but I did just manage to get a nice shot there of it coming out from the station. Obviously with it being the indoor crypts, with the drop track in there and the rest of it being out in the woods at the back, can't really get any footage of it. Yeah, it's very hidden away. That's what adds to it, isn't it? Going through the forest. I always wish it had maybe a couple more helixes and drops out in the forest itself, but it is what it is. I remember at the time when this opened in 2010, had quite a lot of issues just to get that planning permission to build it where they did. So I'm glad that we got something there, and obviously it replaced the corkscrew, which used to be on the main front section, and then it actually goes further back into the forest than corkscrew ever did. But yeah, it's a great ride. I love it. And also what makes 13 quite special is when it opened, it was the first coaster to feature a drop track. Obviously you head in there and drop down, only 16 feet inside the crypt, but it feels a lot more. And that's because of the theming at the side. You got the wraiths, you've got all the lighting, and then of course you've got some air cannons which are up there in the ceiling, which just really adds to it. So it feels like you're really falling down a whole story in there, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's really good. Looks like the Skyride's back in action now. I was just chatting with someone actually, fan of the channel, who was stuck on there for about 15 minutes, they said. So yeah, I'm glad that it's back moving again now. And yeah, we'll keep you updated on what's happening with Rita. You must escape down here in the Dark Forest. Of course, give us a follow on all of our social media platforms, and we'll keep you updated with what's going on. I'm just going back to the Skyride. You have got 3 stations around the park. You've got this one, which is down here at the end of the line by Dark Forest and the World of David Walliams, and closest for Hex as well. And you've also got one down at Main Drive Station, which is in Forbidden Valley. Of course, you can also use that to access Gloomy Wood and Katanga Canyon. And you've got the one down on Tower Street at the main entrance. And he walked through here the other day, but things can always change, you never know. So I'll just have a little quick stroll through the World of David Walliams. I won't talk for ages about Project Horizon like I normally do when I walk down here, because I did only do that a few days ago. But yeah, quick summary, no further updates yet on Project Horizon. Possibly cancelled, we've not really heard much going on, but we'll keep you updated basically when we hear any more. But of course, it is a full park tour I'm doing today, so I want to make sure I head through all the areas, check out all the attractions. Really doesn't seem too busy for a Sunday at all. Yeah, the biggest queue now in the park is 25 minutes, which is not too bad. Carousel just over there. The theatre, abandoned, just used as storage now, like all the entertainment materials are just stored in there. I'd love to see that come back in the future. I feel like this area, you know, it has just got so much potential for future uses, so I guess we'll see what happens other than the new roller coaster coming to CVeebies Land next year. We don't really know. There's not really been much talk or rumours or anything. Normally we'll hear a few little rumours about plans and things, but nothing at all. Obviously there was the talk of Horizon, but other than that we're not really hearing much at all. The only thing that's really confirmed at the moment is that new coaster for next year. But of course we're expecting to be Bluey themed, so I guess we'll see what happens with that one. And keep you updated on Horizon. Always like a little stroll through here though. Obviously you got the main dark ride, Gangster Granny the ride, a few little flat rides, and then the driving school down here too. Always like just strolling around, and also it gets my steps in. If you do a full walk around Alton Towers, you get about 15,000 steps in if you do like one lap around the whole park through all the different areas. And yeah, if you go in between areas, you know, not do it in order, you can easily get 20,000 steps.
Red dress as well. Oh, lovely colour, by the way. That's it. Find a car and sit down, and remember, no running.
It's weird that, because when I used to work on the driving school, it used to have and prepare for your best drive at Alton Towers in the audio, and they cut it out like years ago. I don't know why. Obviously, back side of the towers here, and Hex runs through that whole section of the towers just here. I wouldn't complain if we saw the towers used for another attraction in the future. Obviously they couldn't put another ride inside because, you know, Hex isn't actually in the towers, it's in a building just behind, but they could certainly utilise some of the other rooms for a queue line and pre-show like they did with Hex when it opened 25 years ago. I mean, how cool would that be? You know, utilising maybe something a bit like Dance Macabre that opened recently at Efteling in the Netherlands. That would be a really nice addition to Alton Towers, something like that. Love the little driving school. Can't wait until George can go on here. Yeah, Charlotte and George are having a bit of a rest this afternoon. Obviously we didn't get back from Blackpool till late last night. It was late night riding. And also what's really exciting is we've got our next trip coming on, our next family trip, going down to Devon and Cornwall, which is going to be really good. So yeah, we're really excited for that. It's been about 4 years since we've done vlogs from down there. So yeah, really looking forward to it. This was the perks of working on driving school like he's doing, look, getting to ride on the car. But adults can go on the one at Pulton's Park with a child, so I'll definitely be doing that when George is tall enough. It'd be rude to come to Alton Towers and walk past Hex when it's on less than a 5-minute wait and not have a ride. So yeah, it was good getting back on there, the Parks Vekoma Madhouse. Now when you come off Hex, obviously you exit into Her Ladyship's Gardens over here. However, instead of just going straight out, take a left, come up these steps, and you get some really nice views of the back of the chapel just here and other parts of the towers. You can actually come out over to the front here and just get a lovely view looking out towards Tower Street and the lake here at the park. Obviously it's much better up on the main roof of the towers, but yeah, it's quite cool coming around here. You got like all the little turrets and things as well that you can explore around, and yeah, it's just good for having a little walk around, bit of Alton Towers history. I've always thought this would make a perfect cafe here. That's what I would do. I'd have some nice seating and make this really nice, like a historical piece, have some old pictures of the towers and things. I think it'd be really nice around here if they did that. now that we're going into August, I'm sure we're only weeks away from finding out more details on Scarefest and the full lineup. Normally like to get that on in August because they want to be, of course, selling the maze tickets. So yeah, you do need to pay extra for the Scare Mazes if you are coming for Scarefest. But this year we've got the longest Scarefest ever at the resort, so I am looking forward to that. After what's been, a bit of a slower year, there's not been any events or really much going on this year, so I'm looking forward to a longer Scarefest, and of course got 3 nights of fireworks back as well. I did mention this the other day, but for those of you that didn't see it, if you are a million annual pass holder, they have now got some deals on food. I think they've realised that, to be honest, a lot of people aren't really buying much food here anymore. So you've got special deals from 2 o'clock and other ones that are valid all day as well. So yeah, the perks have been a pass holder. There's not loads of perks these days compared to how they used to be. You used to get early ride time if you're a pass holder and everything. Worth pointing out though, if you are a hotel guest this summer, the park does open from 9 with the selected rides for you, including Nemesis and CBeebies Land as well, which is good. But yeah, back in the day, annual pass holders used to get that as well. It was another perk of being a pass holder, and let's be honest, there's not really loads of perks now to having a pass. The amount of people we speak to that don't have passes now or in the process of cancelling them or not renewing, it's a shame, isn't it, there's the current situation at Merlin, but hopefully things will get better. I guess we'll see. It can't carry on like this so much longer, I know that, with everything going on financially behind the scenes. I just want the best for all the parks, but especially my home park, Alton Towers here. Deserves better, Alton Towers. We're into the early afternoon now here at Alton Towers, and yeah, it's really not too busy at all today. Look at the pathways here. This is the main path, obviously, that leads from the front of the towers to X Sector. And you always get a good idea how busy the park is from this one pathway alone, just seeing how many people are coming down it. And yeah, there's a couple of groups here and there as we head down into X Sector. Obviously home to 2 rides down here. Used to have 4, used to have a couple of flats as well. But unfortunately, not anymore. That's something that we do need, more flat rides. I hope that Alton Towers see Toxicator as a success. I mean, I do. I know that a lot of the time it's not got big queues, but really that's good because it's doing its job as just being a filler ride in that area of the park. And that's exactly what a flat ride like Toxicator should be. It should never be getting longer waits, really, than 20-25 minutes. That's exactly what it should be. And that's about what it has been a lot of the time. Thought we'll come down this way for a change. Normally walk down that main path. Great view of Oblivion from back here. The 1998 dive coaster. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, with Nemesis, it had a retrack in time for its 30th. You got Oblivion, coming up to that age in a few years' time. Is there going to need to be any retracking or not? I mean, it's got much thicker track on the dive coaster than an invert, so I reckon this was probably designed for an even longer lifespan because, yeah, doing the work on this would cost a lot of money. They'd have to completely dig up the foundation, like all across the whole of X Sector. They dug a massive hole for Oblivion. Let's go single rider on this. So main queue's advertised on 20 minutes, not too bad at all. I think that's probably a little bit overestimated because yeah, it's only literally on the merge point up there at the top. But yeah, we'll go for single rider, probably walk on for Oblivion, the 1998 dive coaster. Still the best dive for the drop in my opinion. And you don't realise it, but it's a 180-foot drop that. It doesn't look it from here, but obviously it goes right underneath. And it's got a massive curve there underneath the ground here, which is fascinating. And yeah, they say it's the world's first vertical drop roller coaster, but actually it wasn't quite vertical. It's got an 87.5 degree drop on Oblivion. That was fantastic. Single rider, one person in front of me, was only about 3 minutes. Yeah, it's great. 2-station operation on there as well, which is good. And obviously that's why the queue is pretty low on there. When it's on one, like, it really does slow it down quite a bit. Nothing like dropping down into this hole. I love it down there on the front row for the views, but the back row is great for the pull. I was on the back row that time. Well, yeah, it's an excellent ride. I think what makes it is the fact you have got the hole, you got the mist. Obviously, after the shuttle comes down, all the mist just gets sucked down into the hole. And yeah, I love coming down here. Again, if you've got time, come and have a look. This, if you look right down here, there you go, before the camera does through, that's where you can see it right down there. You've got like an extra, 60, 70 foot down there. Insane. And also, I think what makes it compared to other dive coasters is the fact that it's only got 2 rows as well. Like the modern dives have all got 3 rows, and they're nowhere near as good. Don't look down. brilliant. Very happy to report that it's a much better day than last Monday here at Alton Towers. A really good day. Our operations have been good from what I've seen. Ride availability seems pretty good as well. And yeah, the queue times reflect that when everything's running well. 20-minute wait for the Smiler. Obviously got single rider on there as well. Can be a bit of a hit or miss, the Smiler single rider. Sometimes it can be a lot longer than the main queue, especially when it's only on 20. So I might just go for the main queue actually on the Smiler. Yeah, let's go for it. Plus what's also the best about the main queue is you get the really good views down here, looking at the ride. Airtime! How good will those airtime hills be with lap bars? So this big structure here, of course, is known as the Marmalizer. This was Secret Weapon 7 when it opened back in 2013. Oh yeah, it's only in this first little cattle pen here. Oh yeah, less than 20. That's the thing sometimes, single rider isn't worth it occasionally. Look at this though, some holidays, Alton Towers, and yeah, like a 15-minute wait for the Smiler, brilliant. Not complaining about that at all. Smile always. Love the music. It's so full on this queue line. You got the noise of the coaster, you got the soundtrack, but I really like it. I do enjoy it down here. It's just like a big overload, like it's going on everywhere. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. 15 minutes, 10 to the baggage hold, 5 minutes at the top, and we'll be on. The Smiler. Smile always. Hey! Theme Park Worldwide on YouTube. Check it out. A little bit brighter here in the correction block than usual. Literally waited less than 10 minutes at the baggage hold. Let's go. That was brilliant. Waited less than 15 minutes there for the Smiler in the main queue. And the best thing is, ended up on the front row as well. Obviously on quite a few of the rides here, it's pot luck if you end up on the front, because they haven't got a front row queue. It's a shame because every major coaster, every theme park in my opinion, should give you the option to wait for the front row. But still, they don't. And yeah, I did manage to get front on there, which was great. Rode with a few nice fans of the channel. And it was an awesome ride, yeah, especially for under a 15-minute wait on the Smiler. I really do enjoy that coaster on the front. Obviously the other rows it can be a bit jolty, and even on the front it knocks you around a little bit on some of the inversions, but it's great, it's really intense. Obviously you've got the two airtime hills that would have been better if they had their lap bars on there, but they don't. It is what it is. They've got the over the shoulder restraints, and it's still a great ride, very impressive. And of course it's still the record holder, 14 inversions, which is more than any other roller coaster anywhere in the world. Do you think, oh Julian, do you think that anywhere else is going to top it anytime soon? Let me know in the video comments. But yeah, I always like getting back on it, especially on the front row. I'd ride it every time on row one if I could do, but unfortunately that's not always the option. Right then, we're going to say goodbye now to X Sector and head round towards Spinball Wizard, and then we'll have a little look through CBeebies Land and a bit of an update on the new coaster. Heading up then towards Spinball. Got a Coca-Cola promotion going on today just over there. Hey! Theme Park Worldwide on YouTube, love it. Yeah, it's probably going to do Spinball Whiz. I never do this at the start or at the end of the day. You want to be doing it like in the mid part of the day because it's so close to the entrance. It does get very busy during those periods, but it does have single rider. I think it's advertised on 25 when I looked just on the app. That was down in X sector, so it might have changed in that time. So probably jump on single rider. Well, there was a few more people than I thought there would be in the single rider. There's about 8 people. Took about 10 minutes there for my ride. So yeah, main queue on 25. So not too bad at all for the park's most underrated coaster in my opinion. It's great, Spinball Whizzer. Remember years ago there was rumours that they were going to relocate it into the black hole tent. Obviously that's before they built the Smiler. Yeah, it's a good ride. Mara spinning coaster. Obviously this opened 21 years ago, 2004. Back-to-back coaster years then. You never see that now. Yeah, this in 2004 and then Rita in 2005. Obviously both of them didn't really have much theming. It was more just to put them in, just to kind of boost attendance and ready for selling the park a couple of years later to Merlin. Good ride though, I like Spinball a lot. And of course for a short period in its history it was also known as Sonic Spinball, all themed around Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, there used to be a Sonic statue out the front. And yeah, I believe they've still got that on the resort. It's in the back of house area now. You got somewhere called Magic HQ, which is like the staff canteen and offices and things out the back. Actually, when you're on the Sky Ride, you can look across and see that building. And yeah, the Sonic statue was out there. I presume it still is. I don't know. I've not been back there for a while. But yeah, I know a few people had a photo with it who work here at the resort not too long ago. So yeah, I'm sure it's probably still there. But yeah, little Sonic statue that they've got. We're going to head into CBeebies Land now and go and have a look at what's happening on the new roller coaster for next year. Obviously, in 2026, Alton Towers will be opening a new junior coaster. It's rumoured to be Bluey themed. That still hasn't been confirmed yet by the park, but I'm sure we'll hear more on that soon. Maybe update the hoarding around on the side. Work was moving really fast, but it's slowed down quite a bit now. And the biggest family area here at the park is located just off Towers Street. CBeebies Land, the big sign here. Obviously you've got Get Set Go that runs around the top with its new shortened layout. Obviously they've had to shorten it to make way for the new coaster, and obviously they've removed Postman Pat as well. It was over here at the side. They have painted the fence up though. Nice, looking fresh. Yeah, we'll have a little look round, see if we can see anything. I would have got a construction update from on Get Set Go, but you can't take any video or photos on there anymore, which is a shame. Another ride bites the dust for on-ride filming. But still, at least they've kept this ride. Could have easily removed it, so I'm glad that they did decide to keep it, even though obviously it used to go through this show scene at the top here in the CBeebies house, which is obviously right up there and used to come right all around the corner. Big shipping container over there, and yeah, this is where the coaster's going to be. So the entrance to the queue line is going to be kind of in this area down at the bottom. I'm surprised they haven't already got the hoarding up on here, just to, you know, everybody knows now it's going to be Bluey themed. Let's just get some confirmation on these boards and build up the hype for next year. It's an interesting one though, because it feels to me like the popularity of CBeebies has dropped off quite a lot. I mean, I used to work in this area and it used to be always quite busy. But yeah, like, yeah, look at the paths now. It's often quite quiet. I don't think it's anywhere near as popular as an IP as it used to be, which makes me think, you know, how long will this area stay themed to CBeebies, you know? Yeah, look at this, very quiet. Middle of the afternoon. So yeah, all the former buildings of Postman Pat have now been demolished. Post office was there. A couple of the station buildings, obviously it had an onload and an offload for that, but yeah, that's all now gone. Blimey, it's so quiet in this area. Look at this. Really quiet. So yeah, maybe they were just quite far ahead and obviously moving on with the groundwork soon for that. 5 minutes for In the Night Garden down there. Obviously Bugby's 5, that's often quiet. But yeah, 5 minutes for Night Garden, you know, it's a quiet day in CBeebies Land. I used to say a rare sight to see, but seeing that more often now. Obviously, it was busy during the schools weeks at Alton Towers in general, but other than that, in terms of regular visits, you can certainly tell that attendance has been a lot lower this year. And I think, you know, it's a lack of events and entertainment and just things to be excited for, really. Like, Alton Towers just kind of feels like, you know, it's flowing along this year. It really needs that big new draw, and as much as the Bluey Coaster will be exciting for the little ones next year, it needs something else, doesn't it? Ready to just get everybody really pumped again, really excited, even if it's not coming for a couple of years. Just to know, and some hints and teasers that something's coming, you know, just to build up that excitement again. Because it just feels just flat this year, you know, it's a flat year at Alton Towers. Yeah, you know, it's quiet when like Peter Rabbit, Hibbity Hop, you know, obviously only loaded with one family on that side. They still have to dispatch both on there though, which I find quite funny. In the Night Gardens, the boat ride, which runs on the left up here. And you got a few other rides down here, including the Octonauts roller coaster and the Go Jetters spinning ride as well. There it is, yeah, another walk on. It says 10 on the board, but it definitely isn't. Yeah, very quiet. Don't forget you got the Furchester Hotel puppet show, which is good. You can see the dinosaurs as well. And his Adventures Dinosaur Dig.
What did you say you got a favourite dinosaur?
Big shout out to the Ents team here in CBB. He's always doing a good job. And don't forget you've also got Big Fun Showtime down here as well with the huge stage and yeah, a few different shows going on throughout the day right in this area. And it's actually really nice when the sun's shining down here in Big Fun Showtime. Yeah, here's a look at the 4 different shows and character meet and greets that they've got going on there at the moment. You've got like Bing Live, Bluey Live, Teletubbies and Hey Dougie. I think my favourite of them all is definitely the Teletubbies. It's been 10 years since this opened now, 2015, the Octonauts roller coaster adventure with the squirting whales. Good timing. Good fun ride, very colourful as well. 2-lap special. Octonauts on 5. Get Set Go on 10. I do feel like the queues for Get Set Go have got shorter though. Obviously the ride's shorter now. It's knocked over a minute off the ride time. It's not as exciting, but it does mean the bugs get back faster now. So yeah, it does seem like the queue hasn't been getting as big on that ride. Because sometimes you used to get like 40-minute waits and things, even on like a not too busy day here at the resorts. Right, obviously got Mutiny Bay left to go and cover. Going to be heading up to Forbidden Valley then, probably jump on the Sky Ride at Tower Street, but first I'm just going to have a look inside Towers Trading because I'm going to be exiting the park in Forbidden Valley. I won't be coming back down this way. That's another top tip, you can exit straight onto the car parks, avoids a not very pleasant walk back on the outside of the park or a long queue for the monorail, you know, so yeah, it's definitely worth exiting that way. Plan your day now to end in Forbidden Valley, it's really good. I'm just going to do Towers Trading, see if there's any new merch. Now this is the largest shop in the whole resort, so yeah, that does include the hotels as well. They've both got small shops up there. Yeah, this is the biggest shop, and yeah, we've done that full merch tour, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already seen it. Here on the channel, we're able to see if there's any new bits around, and always like to keep you updated throughout the season as well, with new bits that might crop up. One of the biggest new additions you get throughout the season are pin badges. I know a lot of people like the pins, and you got the patches here as well. Yeah, there's always quite a few new ones coming in throughout the year. £8 for some of your pin badges here. I do like the hex stained glass window effect one there. I think that's great with the logo on. Nemesis 1994. Yeah, some really nice pin badges up here. And they even sell the little pin displayers now. And you can even buy a full park map for £5, like a full poster version, which is really good. Looks a bit sparse, the park on there, doesn't it? Like, not much filler. And that includes the hotels as well. So obviously down in Forbidden Valley, you can win these big bears on the games. But yeah, if you don't fancy playing on the games, you can just buy them now, £40. I'm sure you get your discount on there as well. Yeah, the big Nemesis Reborn teddy bears, the Mega Bear. I know everybody loves the merch for the Smiler, and I feel like there's even more here than when I did the merch tour. Look at these hoodies down here, black and yellow. Yeah, it's always the most popular merchandise you see. Obviously traveling to theme parks around the world, even in Asia, America, I've seen the Smiler logo. Been worn in parks before. And yeah, as much as school trip seasons, you know, long in the past now, you have got different key rings and magnets that are still on the school offer, 3 for 2. I guess they can keep the sign though, because it's like school holidays, isn't it now? It was probably just for like the trip season initially, and then they've extended that through the holidays. But yeah, I've not seen loads of new stuff in here today. But yeah, check out that full merch tour if you haven't already. So many seagulls about watch your food if you're eating over there on the grass. There's a look over at Battle Galleons. The Mac Ride Splash Battle, that's been here since 2008. Doesn't really get that popular, but in the summer it can get a small queue. Looks like there's about a 5-minute wait for that today. Alton Bear's just escaped through that door over there and has gone in as we enter into Mutiny Bay. So let's have a little look around here. See if there's any changes. Always like just going through every area and just bringing you any updates, and I just find it really interesting just, you know, walking around my local park on a regular basis and doing every area and having a good look round. Obviously you've got a couple of flat rides down here as well.
And it's a heave and a ho, and off we go. Come on, lads, here we go.
I think this area of the park feels the most well-rounded, to be honest, with attractions. It's nice, you've got the water ride, of course, out on the lake, Battle Galleons. 2 nice flat rides with good theming and all themed audio. Sea Life, where I'm going to have a little walk through next. And then even though it's not pirate themed, it technically is still in this area of the park. Wicker Man, just down there at the back, the wooden coaster. So yeah, it's a nice well-rounded part of the park, this. An entrance to Shark Bait Reef by Sea Life is included in your admission. There's no extra charge or anything like that. And it's a nice little walkthrough just over here. Now, of course, at the moment, Merlin still own and operate quite a few different Sea Life centres throughout the UK, and we have covered those recently over on our second channel, for Sandbrook Adventures. Yeah, we do like everything non-theme park on that channel, like lots of different attractions and days out. So make sure you head over there and check it out if you haven't already seen it. It's only quite small, this, but it is nice to walk through. Pretty similar to the one at Chessington. Favourite effect over here, the big eye comes up on the screen. Watch out with the sharks. All the projections off at the back today. Obviously in this big barrel there's a projector and they like projects onto that screen over at the back there. Yeah, it's off, and the audio's off as well for it. Shark Bait Reef is a great walkthrough, and I definitely recommend heading in there, especially on a rainy day. It can be a really nice kind of 15-20 minutes just to get out of the rain. Right then, one area of the park left for me to cover today, and that is Forbidden Valley as we enter into the latter part of the afternoon. So I'm going to jump on the Sky Ride now. The order that I've done things today is probably the order that I recommend for a visit this summer to Alton Towers. I always used to say go to Dark Forest first, but I feel like that's changing now, especially as there's only one operational ride left down there at the moment, at the time of recording. Rita will be back soon though, from what I'm hearing. Yeah, let's jump on the Sky Ride. Hey, here we go. You got some nice views looking down at Mutiny Bay here. And surely we'll get the best view of Wicker Man from up here as well. So yeah, I mentioned that back of house building earlier for Staff Magic HQ. It's that big green building down there at the back. Oh, perfect timing! Yeah, that's what we want. Sometimes I've just gone back and forwards on here to get that shot, and yeah, first time today. Yeah, not too busy there for Wicker. Just up by the shop, yeah, probably about 25. Queue line shop. Great. And yeah, it's just under a 5-minute ride from the Tower Street station here to Forbidden Valley. And yeah, I think I'm going to go on Nemesis Subterra first. It's only advertised on 5 minutes. Looks nice and quiet now as we enter into the final part of the day here at Alton Towers. This is probably my second favourite sign on the park, and I know it's a combination of signs, but just the structure of it. Toxicator on there as well, Nemesis Reborn. Yeah! Chopper's back working again now, which is good. Here in the Phalanx facility, Forbidden Valley, let's go. Let's do Subterra. I've not done it for ages. So this is 4 indoor ABC manufactured drop towers. Obviously they're all face each other, and you've got like the backstory in there with the Nemesis egg, and it all goes wrong. It's a good fun ride. It's not worth more than like 20-25 minutes, but can't pass up 5, can we, for Subterra? And yeah, it's like 4:45 now, so got like an hour and 15 minutes to spend down here in Valley. There goes the celebration train again. Queue's just back to here. I reckon it's slightly longer than 5 minutes, maybe 10. So you've got to think you've got the pre-show and a bit of a gap in between, but still that isn't too bad at all. Yeah, I love this view of the monorail you get. Nemesis is only on 5 minutes now as well. Perfect down here in Forbidden Valley. Best place to end the day. And then you can exit straight out into your car. Oh, great ride there on Nemesis Subterra. It's a really good fun dark ride. You don't want to wait too long for it, but it is a nice filler attraction down here in Forbidden Valley. And obviously you go through into the first pre-show room where you're told the story of the Phalanx that obviously operate the Phalanx facility here, and Nemesis and all the backstory. And then you head into a fake lift that takes you down to the central core. You arrive into the core where you've got the 4 towers, you've got the egg in the middle, lights go off, egg turns round, you drop down, and then you come back up, and you're into another fake lift at the end. You used to have actors in there, and it was a lot better then, but it's still good fun. I really do like it. Nice filler attraction down here at the this side of the park. Yeah, it's nice. Obviously this area of the park used to be called Thunder Valley, so that's why you've got Thunder V there on the back, which is quite a nice little touch of the chopper, big chopper. Right, let's go down to Nemesis Reborn and the Nemesis containment zone at the bottom here. Obviously all these rocks have been here since '94, but they added all the tentacles coming up from the side. Excited for this. Well, when Nemesis Reborn is only on 5 minutes, you know what that means. You've got to get some re-rides in. Let's go for it. Nemi! Just under an hour to go until ride close. Fantastic. Probably not going to go on Galactica today. I did do it the other day. Probably give Toxicator a go, another ride. That's only on 5 minutes as well. So many Easter eggs in this area, which is really nice. And the fact they put these little viewing areas in, how nice would it be? I'd make this a little summer cocktail bar in the queue. Literally over at the side, you have a small little bar there, doing Nemesis cocktails. A few seats. Oh, she's a beast, beautiful. Excited to get back on Nemesis, obviously didn't get on last week. Normally try and have at least, if we're in the area, a couple of rides on Nemesis every week, you know, we're living so close. Yeah, it's been a while not been on it for, yeah, a few weeks actually, Nemesis. This is one of my favourite views in the park here, with Nemesis and then Toxicator there just behind. It's great because obviously Ripsaw was in that exact spot, but it was just spun the other way. Yeah, it looks really nice when you see them both here. Let's go and ride Nemesis. Gonna have a few rides on here, at least 3. Simply the Beast is 1994 Nemesis here at Alton Towers, reborn last year in 2024 into Nemesis Reborn, of course. A fantastic attraction, it really is. A world-class roller coaster, and what really makes it is the fact you've got a B&M inverted roller coaster in a pit just here. A very unique layout, starting of course with a tiny drop before going into the corkscrew, before just gradually building up the speed. Nemesis is one of them coasters that packs a punch right through until the end, and that's why people rate it so highly. That's why we love Nemesis, because of the big pit that it's in just here, and just the overall design of it. It's a brilliant ride, a John Wardley classic. So pleased that it was retracked and reimagined with some new theming around for last year, just to preserve it for the future. Obviously, as we know from like newer B&M coasters, they have got a bit of a rattle. That is still the case with with Nemesis. Nothing was kind of sorted over winter with that. I don't think Alton Towers maintenance could really do anything about it. I think ultimately it all goes down to the manufacturer, Bolliger and Mabillard, where unfortunately we have seen a decrease in quality from B&M since this was built in '94. This hasn't been the only coaster to have a rattle. We've seen quite a few coasters from B&M in recent years that have had rattles, which is such a shame really, because they are great rides. B&M, yeah, but they're expensive manufacturer. Apparently they've been using cheaper steel to fabricate the rides, hence why, you know, we're finding them a bit rougher now than they were before. But it's worth pointing out that they're not really kind of, you know, mega rough or anything. It's more just the rattle, it's the noise. And yeah, there's a bit of vibration there. I'll worry about it in the long term. But still, Nemesis, legendary coaster. Here she comes. Just standing here as well and getting the breeze from this amazing ride. Of course, 4 inversions on there as well, 4.7 Gs. Favourite rows down there, back ride seats, which is just incredible. Love that, gonna go round again. It doesn't get much better than some re-rides on Secret Weapon 3 here at Alton Towers. Nemesis. Look how you got SW3 there on the side of the Mushroom Cloud luxury tour bus there as well. Obviously that's the code name for the ride. Even though this was the first Secret Weapon to be built, SW1 and 2 were both plans for this site that never got built. Not going to ride it today, but I did do Galactica the other day, the park's flying coaster. It's on 30 minutes this evening, so yeah, it's a little bit longer than I would like to wait when you've got a walk-on Nemesis right nearby. I'm just going to have a go on Toxicator as well. Why not? There's like 20 minutes to go until the park closes for the day. Five-minute wait with Toxicator. Great to get back on there. I was on an end seat again, so I didn't really get that well, a little bit. But yeah, there's a single rider queue on there, of course. But yeah, a lot of the time just use the main queue when it's so quiet. In fact, they're only half loading the gondola, well, or just over half filling the gondola there. That's why there's only riders in the middle, because it's so quiet. Toxicate, that's the thing though, it's a filler ride. That's what it should be doing. Well, after my ride down Toxicate, just managed to squeeze in one more on Nemesis Reborn to bring me to the end of my day here at the Alton Towers Resort. It has been a much better day today. Operationally, the park's been running really well today, which is great. Got quite a lot of rides in, got lots of updates to share with you all. It's just been a really nice day, I've enjoyed it. Well, just before I wrap up this vlog, I just wanted to share a bit of an update on my visit to Alton Towers last Monday. A lot of people saw that video and yeah, it really wasn't the best of days. Went completely different to how I was hoping it to go. But still, luckily today's been a lot better. Now, with last week, obviously it started off in the morning with quite a lot of rides being closed, poor ride availability for a good 45 minutes into the day. And then along with that, there were some poor operations at other points. And then in the afternoon, it ended up the rides had to all close outside due to inclement weather. Now, obviously, I've operated rides myself, including here at Alton Towers, and obviously the policies used to be a lot different than they are now. So I contacted Alton Towers just for a bit of an update really on, you know, when rides have to close. I'm going to put that full statement on the screen for you now. This is from Bianca Sammets, who's the current managing director here at the resort. Obviously she is going to be leaving soon. I'll be talking more about that in an upcoming video about the kind of the future of Alton Towers and, you know, how uncertain things really are at the moment. But of course, yeah, Bianca did share an update, which I really do appreciate. So you can pause the video here and read it in detail. Well, basically, you know, rules changed back in 2023. They changed their policies here at Alton Towers. I'm not too sure if that's the same across all the Merlin parks, but it is here. And basically now, as of, even if there's a storm like coming in from 60 miles away, they can start closing certain attractions. I think that's more like the Sky Ride, the monorail, and other things. So yeah, like just an interesting one. Obviously, parks have all got different policies on when they have to close rides, when there's a storm nearby. But yeah, I just found that quite interesting. I mean, make of it what you will. I'll just share that with you there. And of course, you can make up your own mind on that. Obviously, safety is always paramount. That's the main thing. Personally, I think maybe he's cutting it a bit too, a bit too far away there. It never used to be that when I worked here. It was more like if it was a 10-mile radius and that sort of thing. And they'd use the weather radar to know when things are moving in. But still, I'm not an expert in that field. I'm not going to claim to be. That's the statement from Bianca. That's what it is at the moment. And yeah, they're the current policies with the operating a ride. But apparently the storm did come in the end, so there we go. I don't think it was very big, but there was a small storm I think in the end what did make it to the resorts later in the day. I'm glad I made the decision to leave when I did though, because the rides pretty much never reopened for most of the afternoon. But still, today's been a lot better. Really enjoyed it here at Alton Towers. I hope that you've enjoyed the vlog, and yeah, got back on lots of my favourites today. Nice cheeky 3 rides on Nemesis Reborn, and yeah, getting back on lots of my other favourites here at Alton Towers. Much better day operationally, and just in general, like getting around the park, getting the updates in. Not too busy at all. I don't think we're going to be in for a mega busy summer holidays here at Alton Towers, because attendance is down, the excitement's not really there as much for a lot of people this year, which is sad when it's my home park. You want to see it doing really well. Obviously Bianca's going to be leaving. We wish her the best of luck with a new position wherever she ends up around the world. She's a lovely lady, really enjoyed working with her over a period of time, and yeah, let's just see what happens. A very uncertain future for Alton Towers, as I'll be covering in an upcoming video, because we just don't really know what's happening. Hey, what's happening next? Like, we just don't really know. We need some teasing, we need some excitement. So yeah, we will see what happens. If you're visiting though, have an absolutely fantastic time, enjoy your summer trip, and that leaves me with one final thing to say: get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.